Carmela, there's a famous proverb that goes, in Vini Veritas.
Wow, it sounds like we're going to church.
Well, we're not, but it does mean in wine there is truth.
Okay, it could be a church hymn.
It's not, but today what we're going to do is we're going to find out how much truth there actually is in wine.
Okay.
So we're going to drink a wine and we're going to talk about life and stuff, and we're going to see how much that wine pulls the truth out of us.
What are we interviewing? Like a wine bottle?
No, we're interviewing each other.
Oh, wow.
This could be
It's
interesting.
Like the dating game.
Oh, boy. We're going to find out.
The dating game. We went on a day date today. Anyway.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of a reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair. Okay, Carmela, today we are just off. We're doing something different. We're in New York. We have socks on our microphones.
We do. Why
and
we
that's
have
not a
socks?
euphemism. We actually have a sock on our microphone.
Let's tell them why.
Well, because we're in New York and we brought some of the equipment, but not all of the equipment with us for our Wine Pair podcast.
And you forgot something important.
Well, I forgot the screens that help the popping, stop the popping. So we put socks on there to keep the popping down because they were popping.
I think they're working.
I think they are, but
we may never go back to those screens, which means we may never leave New York. We could just stay here forever.
We're like the Red Hot Chili Peppers of podcasting.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Not everybody will know that reference.
No,
honey.
well, look it up, people. Look it up. Okay, Carmela, we're going to try something a little different, something that's a departure from our usual episode. And for those of you who are new to the podcast, what we usually do in each episode is we learn about and taste and give our honest review of 3 wines that are reasonably priced, meaning under $20 each, and should be easy for you to find. However, this week, since again, we are traveling, we're in New York City visiting our 2 oldest children as we record this, we thought it would be interesting to go down a different path and use wine as a prism into our lives.
Yeah, but you decided to go down this path.
You're right.
You didn't give me, I mean, there's no like disclosure statement.
No, there
there's
isn't.
No,
I didn't know.
Like,
I didn't ask your permission.
Sign any forms.
No, I didn't. There's no contract. You're just here because you can't get out.
Because
okay.
I don't want to get fined.
Yeah, that's right. So I thought that what we could do in these episodes, you could do maybe a little bit more of the talking and maybe drive some more of the direction.
Are you sure?
And you could ask me things on the fly that maybe put me on the spot. Or anyway, it's we don't even know. We don't even know what's going to happen. We don't even know.
Oh my
it's
God.
mostly unscripted. It's weird.
So
yeah.
like unlike you.
No, it could be a total disaster.
I mean, your life is practically scripted.
Well, what I know.
So how is this?
We had an arranged marriage and everything.
Wow.
So we're either going to find out that this is the best type of episode to do, or it's going to be a total disaster, and people are going to say, "You guys,
no,
get
and you
back
won't
to
even
it."
know because we won't even publish it.
Oh no, we will.
Okay.
At some point
No
we
matter
will.
what?
Who knows? I don't know. Okay. So this series, if it works, we're going to call it "In Wine There Is Truth," which again is a translation of the famous quote in Vino Veritas, which is a Latin proverb that's attributed to Pliny the Elder, and it basically means that when you get somebody a little schnockered, they tend to tell you the real.
Now you're trying to get me drunk.
Yeah. So we're going to see if the truth comes out.
Okay.
And as far as wine is concerned, it's all going to be focused around a wine that we're drinking. Okay.
Okay.
We'll probably only drink one wine in this episode or these episodes.
Smart.
And so every once in a while we may go outside of our $20 limit because it's one wine. Like who cares? Maybe we pull something out of the wine closet that's a little bit more expensive. But for this episode, since
we're not even home.
I
we
know.
just pulled it out of somebody else's wine closet on our Airbnb.
Yeah, no. So we're recording it, as I said, in New York City, and I grabbed a couple of bottles of wine from the local wine shop, the Kips Bay Wine Shop, and it's literally around the corner. So that may be something we talk about, Carmela. We may talk about wine shops in New York. I don't know.
Okay, well, I've seen a lot of them.
Yes.
We spend a lot of time looking at wine shops in New
we
York.
have.
I don't know.
We have. And
that's when you're in
it's
charge.
Your favorite thing. You're like, oh God, another wine shop.
Let's go. And every time I see one and I say, hey, should we go in? I'm just like cringing.
Please. But I don't always say yes. I don't always say yes. I don't always say yes.
I mean, 9 times out of 10.
Oh, 7 times out of 12.
Oh, good. What are the okay?
I don't know.
What's the ratio?
I don't know. I made that up. Okay, but this time I do have a reasonably priced wine.
Okay.
So we're gonna drink a wine. We're gonna start off.
We're gonna get drunk.
Yeah.
No, we are not getting drunk.
We're gonna start off the episode with the wine.
Okay. Are you gonna? Oh, it's a favorite. See, not only are you like trying to find out some information I don't even know what about me, but you got one of my favorite wines.
I know, and usually what we see, I'm not even. Usually what we do is we, at the end of an episode, we, the second half of an episode, we taste and review 3 wines. But this time, screw it.
Screw it.
Fuck
It's not
it.
a screw cap. It's
No,
a
it's not.
pop top. Oh.
Please don't explode all over the place. Okay.
Party.
Party.
Are you going to tell them what wine we're drinking? We have to admit something too. We're telling the truth right now. We
In
are
Vino Veritas.
right. This is the first one. We know how Joe will never drink a stemless glass. Tonight we are drinking out of stemless flutes.
I just
Stemless flutes, guys. They look like they are for like a rosebud.
I think this was on the
bud
Daily
face.
Show. There was a guy, honestly, just like on the Daily Show, who was talking about Bed Bath & Beyond. And he was like, they sell stemless wine glasses. That's a cup.
Truly. Okay,
So,
are we
here
going
we
to
go.
cheers?
There we go. Ooh, okay.
That's
So
a bad one.
we're going to start off drinking the wine. And again, we're drinking a cava. And for those of you out there in listening land, if you want to, if you feel so obliged, you can open up a bottle of cava or some sparkling wine, or just some wine, and just enjoy it with us. But we're going to talk just really quickly. We'll break down the wine. This is called Viña Palaciega Cava Brut. And it's from Catalonia, Spain. Ho, ho, ho. It's a non-vintage, as most sparkling wines are. It was $11.99 at Kips Bay Wine and Liquor.
Perfect.
It's a 11.5%
Liquor and
alcohol.
wine.
That's right. And it's a Macabeo, okay?
Okay.
And usually what we do is we'd smell the wine and taste the wine and
already
talk
just
about.
dove right
yeah, we're
in.
not going to do that. We're just going to, maybe at the very end, we're
it's
just
so
going to do that.
lovely.
We're going to just talk about, we're going to use this wine again as a prism, as a way to get, as an elixir to get us started talking about
God, and a
stuff.
funnel just to let
That's
it
right.
all pour out eventually.
Okay. Do you think this is a dumb idea?
I don't know. What I am I just am laughing though, because whenever I smell, I don't know if you're supposed to smell sparkling wines and champagnes. I know it's not.
Sure, why not?
Because it makes me want to cough. Truly, does it happen to you? It's
I
like
don't
the
know.
little effervescent goes right up your nose, and it's just another fun fact or another piece
fun
of
fact.
truth.
Another fun fact.
Piece of truth.
Okay, do you want to know why I came up with this? Where this whole idea came from?
Yeah.
Or do you? It's up to you. I don't have to talk about it.
No, I do. My number one question is, what the heck were you thinking?
Okay.
No, what?
Oh my God, I'm going to spill these stupid stemless.
That would have been the
God
end of
damn.
the...
Okay. So I've been listening to some other podcasts, and because wine is like one of those things that's much more, it's more than just a beverage, it's more than just alcohol. It's like part culture and history and geography and about food and all that kind of stuff.
And relationships.
Yeah, and yes, it is. And where wine comes from matter, and the history matters about the wine and the year of the wine. All these things kind of like, there's stuff about climate and there's stuff about wars and princes and princesses
You gotta
and
see
also
this guy.
I know. So anyway, sometimes wine helps us. First of all, if you get drunk, you talk. Sometimes you
Not even
loose
you have
lips.
to be
but-
drunk. You're just getting a little warm.
yeah, but also you can talk about things that are related to wine that you can like wax poetic on stuff.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
So I
that's
think-
how it came about.
So I don't know. We're
Are
just
you
gonna see how
feeling
this
romantic?
goes. Kind of.
Really? Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
Okay,
Well,
so-
we're in this room. Okay, I just have to say we are in this
Oh
room. We're
my
in this
God, with a
Airbnb.
lot of sexy
I'm not kidding.
books.
I'm not kidding. The woman who rented the Airbnb to us, her name is Hope Tarr. She's been a fabulous host.
Yes, awesome.
But
we love her place.
she makes, and I found this out because we were looking, there's bookcases, and I said, Carmela, you've got to see this.
It was crazy.
She's a romance novelist.
Yeah,
She's
an award-winning romance.
yeah, and she's
novelist.
written books with Jenna Jameson, who's like a former, I think, Playboy model or something,
Oh
whatever.
wow, I didn't know that.
And they are
What?
sexy books.
Yeah, they totally are. In fact, when she's got tons of books, which I kept saying, "Oh, our oldest is going to just love this." He's such he's a huge book fan.
He's an English. Oh, no, he was a theater major, but he loves reading. He's
yeah.
such a voracious reader.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness! I was like, he's going to love it. Then I'm looking at him like, oh god,
Sexy
like they are.
books.
Everything says sex and love and rock and roll. No, just sex and love. And then
Not rock and roll.
No,
I don't think
all
there's
sexy
there's a
stuff.
lot
There are
actually
a lot of
historical, right?
sexy books.
Sexy books, historic. There was a lot of sex in history. If there wasn't, we wouldn't be here.
I was just going to say,
People have to. You got to do it.
Sex is a normal
You got to
thing.
do it. You got to do it.
Yikes.
Okay.
I mean, it's a part of,
It's part of life.
Truly, it's people
part of
walking
life.
around. It all started with
Sex. That's right. Okay, so I think we get into it. What do you say?
Okay, let's do it. Ever not
But-
into it?
No, not yet. But first,
Oh, man. Even in this episode.
Yeah, we have to do our shameless plug.
Okay, you do it.
Okay, we want to start by saying thank you for listening to us and for supporting our show. And if you haven't had the chance to do so yet, now would be an awesome time to subscribe to the podcast. It's a free way to support us, and then you never have to miss a show. And a huge thank you to all of you who have subscribed already. We do really appreciate it. And another great way to support us for free, I'm doing my sexy voice, is to leave a nice rating and
really
review
odd.
on our website or on Apple Podcasts or other podcast service, so we can grow our listeners, and you can follow us and see fun pictures of the wines, and maybe I'll have pictures of the books. Maybe I should do Hope Tar books.
You're gonna have to do an @ to her, or
for
something,
sure,
or whatever that is, a hashtag or an
yeah,
@
totally. You can do that on Instagram
sure.
at the Wine Pair Podcast, and you can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. Oh my God.
What's that?
Okay, and as we like to do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should. I don't know. We tell you someone we think you should tell about the Wine Pair Podcast. And this week, I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe anybody that you know who is from New York
and likes romance novels
and kava.
And Hope Tar.
Right, or who's read a Hope Tar book. That would be hard to know.
I would actually like to know that.
Yeah.
If you have read a Hope Tar book or hope to, I didn't even mean for hopefully you will tell us.
Right.
Okay, Carmela, we can go down a bunch of different directions depending on where you want to go. This
you
is
want me
about
to start?
you.
You want me to start?
I mean, but here's the only rule. The only rule is it has to have some relation to the wine that we're drinking. Some relation.
Okay.
It doesn't even have to be about cava. It doesn't have to be about Spain. It could be about anything buying the wine, where we are, anything, whatever. Like,
no, I think we need to get
and I've
back
got
in
ideas
time a little bit.
I've got ideas, but you go. You go.
Oh, no, really?
No, you go.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, I'm curious, like, when did you have your first sparkling? Like, was it like a date thing? Were you taking anybody out? Were you like, or was it like, well, you're just like at a family party and your mom, no, not your mom, but somebody gave you like a glass of sparkling? And was it champagne?
I don't think I had a lot of sparkling wine. I do remember, and we've talked about this, like sparkling wine. Okay, so my, in drinking in high school, not that I drank in high school, but when I drank when I was younger, in Vino Veritas.
Holy cow.
California coolers. We drank a lot of California
Those are
coolers, and those are effervescent. They're not
Yeah.
really sparkling. I mean, they're not like a sparkling wine, but they were a sparkling wine cooler.
I might beg to differ on that one.
There were a wine cooler.
They're wine coolers.
Does that count?
Oh, they're sparkling.
I guess that was and here's the thing, like, that I think put in my mind about sparkling wine, that it's sweet.
And
I think a lot of early
Toasties. We've talked about that.
So I think a lot of people think of sparkling wines as very sweet. And so I think that, is that your first sparkling wine when you were 21?
When I was 21, when I had my first, you know what's funny? I think that my mom would give us a little bit of sparkling wine when we were kids.
And she called it champagne.
She
no
probably
question.
did.
No question.
For sure.
Any sparkling wine was always
I remember
called
when she
champagne.
gave our oldest a glass, like when he was like 12 or 14.
Well, we did when we were in Italy. With spritz.
Yeah, true.
He had it spritz.
Oh, yeah, he was about 15.
Yeah.
And that did have Prosecco in it. But no, I do. Yeah, so I think that was probably my first. But no, the California cooler
Big 2-liter bottles of. I mean, I know
California
they did.
cooler?
Yeah, I know they had those Bartles and James ones that were like, in little
those
glass
were pretty
bottles.
Good.
We drank the California coolers.
Because they had
the
flavors.
Green. Yeah, and they were big green 2-liter. How they sold that shit, I don't understand.
What was your favorite? Like the pink flavor?
No, the green.
Oh, what was that flavor?
Lemon
lime?
Probably like a lemony lime flavor. It was good. But the other thing that I do remember, I think it was the first time I ever got heartburn too. Because those things were so goddamn sweet.
You're heartbroken.
Maybe that too.
I don't know. You were drinking California coolers and some girl
I was
like,
a little bit like.
Sensitive?
Yeah, I've always been sensitive and always a little girl crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
When I was young, sure. Sure. I don't see in Vino Veritas. I'm just letting it out.
I think I already knew that. Because you talked about some girl, you liked when you were like, I don't know, in grade school or something.
Grade school?
I don't know.
I wasn't drinking. I wasn't drinking sparkling wine.
Okay, but you had the heartburn. Tell me about the heartburn. Then we'll hear about the heartache later.
No, I can't. I don't know if there's anything specific around cava or sparkling wine around heartache.
How did we get to heartbreaking?
Heartburn. Because I said heartburn, and you said I thought you were going to say heartbreak.
And then you just totally did. You gave it all up. You're girl crazy all of a sudden. What the heck? I didn't ask that.
See, it's already gone.
Aren't you Carmela crazy?
Of course, you're my girl.
I mean, you liked me when I was pretty young.
Oh, God, it's so weird now. It's so wrong. Like, when I think back on it, I'm like, I would kill some dorky dude, high school kid who
What?
liked, if somebody
daughter?
liked our daughter when they
that
were
age?
our age, oh my God, I would have strangled that person.
Well, honey, people did.
Strangled people?
No, but people liked your daughter, our daughter.
What?
When
Don't
she was
say
my
that.
age, when you liked me.
Your age. She's never been your age.
No, the age that I was when you were hitting on me. No, when you liked me, people liked
God,
her.
this is so disgusting.
Probably Joey's friends. Similar scenario.
It's so weird.
I know.
It's so
I
odd.
know. I don't know. But yeah, so the heartburn. You never went back to. So you got heartburn.
I don't,
the first time
because
you
they
drank
were
it.
so, because those sparkling
Sweet.
wines were so sweet. And that, you just kind of like, you're trying to get drunk.
What?
Come on. That's the whole point. The whole point was, because I hated the taste of beer. And everybody.
The California coolers were good.
They were good. They were tasty. They were sweet. They were probably 8 billion calories. But because
Oh,
the other
Lord,
thing.
who cared at that point?
Well, the other thing was that the beer, when you're younger, the beer you get is the worst possible beer.
Well, right.
It was
No,
like
the 40
Schmidt's
OZs,
animal
you'd get
beer.
those
Ugh.
big-
No, the
ugh.
malt liquors are even worse. But we would drink like a beer that made Rainier beer like good.
Oh,
Like it was
God.
like Rainier
How
was the good
How
version.
much were those?
The California coolers?
No, like the beers or the California coolers. I'm thinking the California coolers were like $7 a.
2 liter.
No, they were probably less than that.
Well,
I'm
I
thinking
kind
like
of
a
think they were like
four-pack.
$5 or something for a 2 liter.
I feel like a 4-pack when you have to give somebody money on the street.
It's true. Or we'd go to places, I won't say what we called them, but we would go to places
yeah.
where they would not card.
I know.
Like we knew there were a few of them.
And you looked a little older.
And if I didn't
'Cause you
shave,
grew a lot
I
of
might look
hair.
like I was 18 or
But
19.
you had to be 21.
I know, but I was
so-
close enough.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So okay.
So that's, I don't, I'm
Wait,
trying to,
did we go back to the heartburn?
all I said
That's
was
all
they
it
were
was?
just super sweet.
Oh, and
and
you
you're
got
trying to
heartburn.
drink so much so fast.
right.
Because you're really trying to get, and I just have these weird memories of like Tim Mitchell and some of my other friends, and we would be sharing a single 2 liter.
Oh, totally.
I know, but like, think about all the like
Gunk.
Like, no wonder kids got mono and shit.
Oh, look what happened during COVID.
What? Nothing happened during COVID.
Everybody was kids were still going out.
Well, not our kids. Actually, they were.
But
Our daughter.
Older.
Yeah.
Yeah, our daughter. We just blame it on our daughter. No, she went out enough for all of us, probably.
she did.
Yeah.
So what about you? What about you and sparkling wine? What was your
Well, like I
first
said,
sparkling
I don't
wine?
even really know. I never, everybody would say, don't drink sparkling wine. It'll give you a headache. Oh, I can't drink that. So I was a little worried about sparkling wine.
But I think if it's really sweet, it does give you a headache, don't you think? I don't know.
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I really don't get a headache very often from.
It could have been because the
anything.
sparkling wines, like the Andre or the like whatever cold, that stuff is bad. Like it give you a headache
Right,
because it's
so
probably full of
cheap.
like chemicals.
Yeah, because those are like under $5.
No, I mean
No,
they were probably $2 at the time.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, I don't think I really have a problem. If anything gives me a headache, it's actually probably the red wine. Yeah, and you. Red wine and you, especially at the same time. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think it doesn't bother me. I don't remember having a bad experience with it.
Red wine, like
Oh, one thing I do have to say though.
go. This is your show, bro.
No, I don't. Why? It's not my show. You are unscripted. Well, no, you're partially scripted tonight. I'm never scripted, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I don't know what the difference is, except for you're letting me be the chatty one tonight.
I know it's working great.
No. But I do
In
remember
Vino
my
Veritas.
cousin's wedding. When I was 16, I was in her wedding.
This is Julie.
Julie, and she's 20. She was 24. I was 16.
Oh my God.
And we were drinking champagne before.
Was it
the
champagne
wedding.
though? Was it
Before even
champagne? Was it champagne?
No. It was probably not. It was probably sparkling.
Yeah.
I'm sure they
If
called it
if
champagne.
people out there in listening land are wondering what I'm talking about, it's just a pet peeve.
I know.
Everybody calls sparkling wine champagne, but sparkling wine is only called champagne if it's from Champagne. I'm talking right into my sock.
Oh my God, you look so funny right now. We're taking a picture of that. We're going to post that.
Well, take a picture.
Okay. So my cousin got married, and I was the only one who was underage when she got married. And
What do you mean you were the only one that was underage?
in her wedding party?
No, your brother was underage. If
He
you were
wasn't
16,
in the wedding party.
oh, in the wedding party. It's like The only person
I was a bridesmaid. I was 16.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
What are you talking? God, if only. If only. I do remember having a little drinking before the service.
Did you get drunk?
Probably.
Don't say probably. In
know,
Vino
that's a weird
Veritas.
thing to say.
In wine, there is truth. Did you get fucked up? Did you get drunk or not? Did you get drunk or not? Let it out, sister.
I don't remember.
I talked about being girl crazy and getting heartburn. You can talk about whether or not you got drunk.
Honey, we drank for hours. I probably
So you did. And your voice
know.
went up an octave.
No. Honey, I don't remember.
Honey. So this is what she tries to do when she's trying to like make it not so bad. She says, honey.
Honey. No, it was very fun, but it's still to this day, my cousin will tease me about, and you were drinking that sparkling wine.
No, she says champagne.
And and she'll, oh my God, you were drinking so much. That's how she talks, doesn't she?
Oh, yes. Hopefully she's not listening to this.
No, she can listen to this. And it was a great time. And I think I was like not very old.
Were you drinking at the church?
We were drinking at the church before the ceremony.
Where in the church were you drinking? Was this at St. Joe's, right?
No,
oh,
she
where
didn't
was
get
it?
married. She didn't get married at a Catholic church. She
Oh,
got
was this in Oregon?
Nope, it was somewhere.
But John's dad came up and did the ceremony, right?
He was the officiant, yeah, in the wedding.
Where was the church?
Gosh,
it was in
remember.
Seattle.
Yeah, but it might have been like South Seattle somewhere. I don't know, but
where were you drinking?
In like not the green room. I want to call it the green room, the bride's room.
They really? And nobody came in and was like, "Hey, girls, you have to like kind of keep it down."
Nobody cared.
Was John and the groomsmen were they partying
man,
rock stars?
Did you guys went out to brunch before? Did you drink?
No, we didn't drink. I did not drink it
for our wedding. You didn't?
You didn't. Did you? I don't think you did.
The truth be told. No,
yeah.
I didn't.
I don't think we did because we got married at like 11 in the morning or something.
So
it was early.
I'm teasing. No, we did not. I did not.
But we were so boring.
Well, we were.
But you know what? There's nothing like. I mean, getting drunk at a like.
I wouldn't want to be drunk.
It's
getting
weird.
married.
I think it's kind of classless.
I may have walked out. I may have had second thoughts. No.
What?
Never. I never, ever would have.
Because I would have chased you
again.
I would have chased you. Carmela, come back. You must marry me.
Here, take a drink. And plus, we had a nice glass of wine in that.
We did have sparkling wine at the reception, but I don't think we had any. But I still have a bottle of it. I still have a bottle of it.
Of us, honey.
Oh, you're right. With those silver
glasses, my mom bought. We still have them, and they're pretty.
You're right.
They were glass flutes.
I think
I'm sorry. They were like silver flutes.
I think I do. No, I totally.
I mean, they were real silver.
Yeah, the real. Mm-hmm. And I think I still have a bottle of that sparkling wine. Sure, it's like turned to vinegar by now.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. Yeah. From our wedding?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
In our cellar, in the wine closet,
sort of. Really romantic. I didn't even know about that.
And I kept the cake.
Holy cow! No, but we ate our cake. We had a great cake.
And it did last for a year.
Meg's made it. Meg's Allen, and it was a beautiful cake. It was delicious, but it started to melt
at the wedding.
At our wedding, and my aunt saw it.
It was hot. It was August,
and it was 5 tiers high with. Little,
and it was probably buttercream.
Yeah, for sure. I bet it was. With little, what are those called? Columns in between them. I mean, it was probably like a 3-foot tall cake.
Tall.
Something about a tall cake. Wow.
Turns me on.
Woo! Cake turns me on.
God.
That's gross.
She is the baby cakes lady.
Well, that's what I'm
Which,
saying.
if you really think about it, could be the name of like a adult bookstore.
I know. Well, if you Google baby cakes, people will sometimes go, I tried to find you, but it wasn't you.
Like porn.
And then I'm like, holy cow. And I'll go, it's actually Love Baby Cakes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Love Baby. Don't go to babykakes.com because you might see booty.
Oh, you can, but
you might see booty.
Go at your own risk.
That's right.
You won't see babies and you won't see cake.
Oh, you might see some cake.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right.
What else do you have for me? Or what do you
I don't know. What else about Cava, sparkling wine?
I love Cava.
New York, being in New York.
When did we first have Cava? And what would you...
You know, it's funny that was one of my topics because I think like...
We had it together.
Yeah. Like, I don't know when, but I kind of think it was pretty recently. Like, I mean, I'd say recently, like within maybe like the last 5 years. I even wonder if it was a COVID thing. Because like COVID kind of, I feel like, or around the COVID time, I can't, like time around COVID is totally screwed up.
Right.
Like we lost years. We don't even know the years
But they
anymore.
were actually, I mean... I feel spoiled to say this. They were actually, for
We
us,
were lucky.
we were so
We were
lucky.
lucky.
They were some treasured years.
Yeah, we were
too,
lucky.
In a
Some
really
people had
roundabout way. I hate to even say that.
I know some
really.
people had horrible years.
Yes,
We were
I'm
lucky,
sorry
but going back to Cava, I think I just kind of bought some online on a whim, and we really liked it. And I think Cava was one of those where, first of all, it's like, oh, there's something other than Prosecco that's reasonably priced, that tastes good, and you
And
can
it's accessible.
yeah, and yeah, it's
Easy to
nice
find.
tasting. It's easy to find, and I think that was when we started going like, we can have sparkling wine any time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just, we've talked about this before, but it's not just a special occasion wine. But
No.
but I don't remember exactly when, although I don't think I knew anything about it. I don't think I understood like how it was made or anything like that. But I do remember like it was on an online wine shop. I think it's Wine Access or something like that. And they had this cava that was brut. It was like probably $18 or something. It was really good.
Ooh.
Really good.
Wait, you ordered it and then we tried it?
Juve and Comps. We tried
Oh,
it.
I know what it is. I can
Yeah.
see the label.
I think that was the first one we bought.
Oh, it has stuck around in our like
Well, we bought it.
repertoire.
Well, we bought it more than once.
Yes.
For sure.
Has my dad had cava?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean he's not a big.
He's not a
wine
big
guy.
sparkling wine guy.
No, he's not. But he does like to pour it every once in a while. Like if it's a special occasion, but mostly prosecco.
Yeah, but Prosecco to me, like I'm kind of not as into Prosecco. I was really into Prosecco, and I'm not as into it anymore because it's too sweet to me. Like it's made dry, which is not brut. It's dry, which means crap.
No, it's smart.
And so sometimes Prosecco is actually on the sweeter side, and so I just don't drink it as much anymore.
Okay, so where does this stack up then, cava? Like in terms of like what are your top sparkling wines? I mean, I know it's not like we've had a ton.
You know what I really love? If I'm going to get one, and we had one this week, Franciacorta, which is I like Cremant and I like Franciacorta. I like these. They're made in the same style as Champagne, but they're cheaper, less expensive. I should say less expensive, but very often they're made almost with the same grapes too. So I really like Cremant and I really like Franciacorta. I know that sounds like nerdy and geeky, but like
Why?
a cava, I don't know. But a cava, especially like a really brut, like a brut nature or nature or whatever cava, I really like. I just really like
I
them.
love it. I really love it.
But I
Yeah.
find cava a little bit on the sweeter side.
Yeah, I think so, but it's not as sweet as prosecco.
I don't think so. Prosecco's really sweet.
But what I like about both of them is that they're not thick. They don't have that syrupy sweetness of the really old style of sparkling or whatever we used to drink years ago. Those were not good.
This one, like the cava always to me is like a Granny Smith. A lot of times like a sparkling wine will taste like apple cider. This one tastes like a Granny Smith. It's tart.
Yeah. This is so good with food though, too. Like a cava, I feel like is delicious.
Yeah. Okay, so like here's the deal. Maybe we've already covered this, so we might have to cut it out. Who knows? But sparkling wine, when do you and I usually drink sparkling wine?
We drink it anytime.
But it seems to me like, I guess I shouldn't lead you like that because you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I still kind of feel like if it's like an aperitif.
Yeah.
I think we
It's
still
usually the first
drink it as
bottle
an
we
aperitif.
open.
Or if we're out to dinner, like we did
Right. we'll
almost
say, "Can I
every
have a
time we
glass
go
of-"
out to dinner, it's either a white wine first or a sparkling wine first.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think it's not often that we would probably have dinner and then order the sparkling. I mean,
No.
you absolutely can. Sometimes we will drink it all night though. We'll have a bottle of it.
All
and that'll be
night. Drink that shit all night.
wow. But sometimes we will. We will just have that and that'll be our bottle for the night. But no, yeah, I think it's typically the first. It's kind of fun to have it right out of the gate. Don't you
I think so. I think that's to me why I kind of like it. When we go out, like you said, it's sort of a festive way to start. It's fun. It
Sets
tastes
the
good. It
mood,
sets the
the
mood.
tone.
It's kind of relaxed. Like it's like, I guess it sort of sets the stage that you're going to have some fun.
Like exactly. It's like a celebration without really like a special occasion. It's just like you're just out, but you want it to feel sort of festive.
I agree.
And I think it's important to remember that about sparkling wine.
It's any time to make you feel good.
Anytime.
If you're feeling down, just drink a whole bottle. No, that's not a
Holy
good.
cow.
That's not good. Okay. I was thinking about one other thing. One is just buying wine in New York because it's weird.
Oh, it is weird. It is weird.
Talk about it.
Well, the funny thing is I remember, it's not often that we would stay at a place at an Airbnb. We've normally stayed at hotels. And so all of a sudden you stay in an Airbnb and you do grocery shopping and you are looking for, things to drink.
Like we got a Trader Joe's 2 blocks from us.
Right. So the first time not the first time, but when I was here, moving our daughter here last summer, I was like, let's get dinner food and we'll get a bottle of wine or whatever. We'll bring it home to your roommates and and you go and you have 2 hands, right? And between the two of us, we have 4 hands and you're buying dinner food.
Math.
Right. I mean, it's unbelievable. We had 4, I mean, it wasn't 5, but anyway, trying to bring all your groceries with you. And then you go while you're in the store, there's not an option to buy wine in most of the grocery stores. No,
you can't.
You can't.
In New York, there's
something about the alcohol level. Though.
Right. I think if it's over 8%, it has to be bought from a liquor store.
Right. So they have tons of liquor stores, but you can't do your shopping if there's no like one-stop
wine
shop.
section. No, yeah, there's no like wine section in your, which is funny because like now in Washington State, we're used to having a wine section in the store. Like that's and now in Washington State, like I remember this growing up. Yeah, so now you can get liquor, you can get like hard alcohol, which in New York you can't, and actually a lot of states you can't. Canada, I don't think you can. And do you remember this when you were a kid? The Washington State liquor stores.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Oh, for sure.
And didn't you always feel like they were sort of taboo? Like you weren't like there was something weird about them.
Well,
like
yeah, you feel
I always felt a little bit
uneasy or
yeah,
something.
I always felt a little bit intimidated. Like even when I was 21, like I'm not sure I should be in here.
Yeah, it's a little odd when you know what? There still is one like down by us, University Village.
No. A Washington State liquor store?
Oh, I don't know if it's Washington.
No,
what is the difference?
Because they closed them all. The state closed all of them because it was money. They had to because they had to have staff in those, because it was literally run. So at least in New York, it's not run by the government. So that was one thing. Like Washington State, the liquor stores were run by the state. So it wasn't like, you could have your own liquor store. So at least here in New York, you have wine shops that are run by individuals, like businesses. They're businesses, small or big businesses, whatever. But in New York, you and I could open a wine shop. Back in the day in Washington State, before they changed the law, we couldn't. Washington State
had to
license liquor stores, which made it even weirder. It was like, I don't know. There was like, it was almost like I was worried I was going to get arrested.
Yeah, it felt like you were like in trouble when you walked in the door.
Yes.
I don't know why.
And the other thing
nobody looked at you funny or anything. You just had this weird feeling.
Well, and then especially like my family, because my mom, didn't drink, and she kind of looks down, even still today, she kind of looks down on drinking.
Yes.
Like it's just not something, like she thinks of it as something that people of poor character. No, she does. She doesn't. She's like she's always looked down her nose at drinking and people who drink.
Which is fine.
Yeah, but it's funny because I think that attitude about liquor stores, they were always called liquor stores, right?
Yeah.
We called them the liquor store. You go to the liquor store. And I remember it feeling like that was not a place. It was an adult thing, and it felt in the same realm as like, cigarettes or something like you weren't supposed to do.
Right.
Like you're just not supposed to do that. And so for me, I kind of always felt like going into a liquor store was like a higher bar of like bad. It was like sinful. Yeah. It was like sinful to go in there. Oh my
God, yeah.
Did you ever feel that way?
I know I do. I mean, I'm recalling that even now you do. You feel like it's like you're gambling or something, or you're doing
when you go into a liquor store.
Yeah.
That's another. It was like going, it was like a casino. Like, I don't think I'm supposed to be in here.
Yeah. I had the same feeling, like you were almost like leaving your reality and walking into somewhere where you maybe aren't supposed to be, or something. Like somebody might see you in there and you might be like, oh, what am I doing here? But nobody really cares. But no, I agree. I don't know what it is.
And then all of a sudden they changed the law in Washington State. And now you can buy anything you want at a grocery store.
Yeah, which is kind of, when it first happened, it was kind of like strange.
Totally strange.
It was like, oh my God, I can get a bottle of liquor at my local
I can get tequila and salad.
Yeah. It was it took me a little while to get used to.
And now we're totally used to it. Now we're like, the other day you're like, for baby cakes, you're like, can you get me some Bailey's Irish cream? Because it was, which cake is that for?
For the half pint.
Half pint. So, and I was like, sure, I'll just go to QFC and get, it's like.
Right. It was so weird.
Normally it would be a whole different, like I'm going to go shopping, so I'll just go and get it. And but yeah, it would be a totally different stop. And And like that's here in New York. Like
Yeah,
so
it's
you
just-
have to go. You have to find like where the liquor stores are, and the liquor store around you, they're not huge because storefronts in New York are so expensive.
Yeah.
So they're not huge, and so it's a little bit hit or miss too as a visitor. Like I think if you lived here, you'd kind of know which ones you want to go to.
Right.
But as a visitor, you're like, I don't know if they're going to have a good wine selection or not. Like it could be crappy. I don't know. It's weird.
No, it is weird. And that's kind of how I felt that first visit. I was like, what? Now we have all these bags and we're going to go to a wine shop. Where are we going to put this? Like there's no way, because you're walking with all these groceries and then you're going to throw a bottle of wine on your arm
You don't
too?
throw it.
No, that's a bad idea. You're right.
The wine toss.
Yeah, no. It was, true. The wine does. So yeah, we have had to get used to our visit to New York. Not being able to we had to bring that third arm.
You do have to bring the third arm.
Yeah, make sure you bring that third arm.
Jeez. No, and so this wine I got just at the local like wine shop around the corner. Little cava in a closet. I don't know.
They have a closet there too.
No, it's just like in the little refrigerator. That's the other thing. It's not like, you go to the grocery store, they have like a big section of like refrigerated wines.
Was this refrigerated?
It was, but it was just like a little tiny refrigerator.
I think a few.
I don't know, probably 50 bottles or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Crazy. It's just like even at wine shops, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Anywhere.
I mean, those wine shops, I don't know how they survive.
I don't either. Okay, Carmela, I think we should talk a little bit about the wine. Just a little bit. Just stay true to ourselves. Okay. A little bit about the wine. What are you smelling on the wine?
I would definitely say apple.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit toast-like.
I feel like there's a little like almond or something. Like nuts. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's the sock, the microphone in my sock. But there's some. I mean, it might be the glass too. But I kind of feel like there's something nutty in this wine.
A little bit. Yeah, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what are you tasting?
Oh, the truth, honey. I'm tasting the truth. What are you tasting?
I like I said, very tart apple. It's almost citrusy, almost citrus and apple.
A little bit of citrus, so almost even like orange for me though.
Oh, like a tart orange.
Yes.
Like I always say this, but like one of those clementines, but they're not quite ripe yet. It's super tart.
They're so good. Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or grapefruity, almost grapefruity.
A little bit, but a little sweeter than that. I'm not tasting like pith or anything.
Like a Paloma.
Oh, Paloma.
Does it taste a little bit? It does kind of taste a little bit like a Paloma.
A little bit grapefruity, I would say. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. It's such a great choice.
It's good and it's cheap. I mean, it was $12 in New York. Okay, so just so you know, a $12 bottle of wine in New York
you can't even buy a glass
of wine at a restaurant for $12. So a $12 bottle of wine in New York is like, $3 in Tennessee or something.
We haven't left our Airbnb since we got here.
No, we've been just bathing in the cava. It's cheaper than bottled water. Okay?
Exactly.
And then what would you pair with it?
Oh, all kinds of goodies.
Okay, well, that's very specific.
I would have everything you would think. I mean, I would love to have like fish and chips with this.
Fried food.
Lots of fried
spicy
foods. Spicy foods. I would do a nice cheese board with it.
There you go.
What about you?
Same. Exactly. Good aperitif, good like charcuterie board wine, and
beautiful.
And then we do rate our wines. In a normal episode, we rate the wines, and we rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, where 7 and above means we'd buy it, and a 4 or below means we'd pour it down the sink, and a 5 or 6 means, hey, it's okay, it's okay. We'll finish it, but we may look for something else, and there's no halves. So, Carmela, what would you rate this wine for yourself?
Well, it's funny because I think I take these types of wines for granted now that we are, sometimes we're really trying to review wines and be honest. I feel like this is such a solid wine.
Yeah.
I think it's me. I mean, I would probably give it a 9.
You'd give this one a 9?
Yeah, I really am liking it.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm a 6.
Really?
Yeah, I like it. I'd drink it. I don't think I'd buy it. I think there's other ones I'd buy.
6?
Yeah, that's good. We haven't been that far apart in ratings in a long time. I love it. In Vino Veritas.
Maybe it's because I just downed that.
You're like, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. Okay.
Anything tastes good. No, I'm teasing.
And let's talk a little bit about the taste profiles expected from a cava. Since this is a wine podcast, we have to talk a little bit about the wine.
For sure.
Okay, so normal, like Wine Folly would say of a cava, quince, tart apple-y kind of taste, lime, yellow apple, chamomile, and almond.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
nice
so
job.
winecasual.com talked about this wine. They said medium intensity lemon in color with tight persistent bubbles. It does have nice bubbles. The nose is a mix of fresh green and golden apple,
okay,
pear, star fruit, and blossom with hints of caramel. I don't know
Caramel.
about maybe. I don't know. And then on the palate, this dry, medium-bodied cava has medium plus intensity, medium plus acidity, and a medium finish. It's a lot of mediums. A lot of mediums on there. But, it got a lot of those apple kind of flavors of tartness.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm surprised they didn't say citrus because I think this one's pretty citrusy.
I think so, too.
Okay.
We both were tasting that.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Anything else, Carmela, about in Vino Veritas? What do you think about the episode? Do you think it's kind of dumb or should we keep doing it?
It's fun.
Maybe we can do more of them.
Yeah.
Find out more about me being girl crazy.
My goodness. You keep coming back to that.
Well, you're going to bring it up later and beat me with it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I might as well, right? What do you mean girl crazy?
What girls?
Yeah, tell me more. 27 years of marriage later. No.
There's only one girl for me.
Woo!
Her name is Carmela, or Baby Cakes.
Who is Carmela?
Baby Cakes.
Oh.
Look her up, baby. Not Love Baby Cakes, just Baby Cakes.
No.
Look her up.
Whoa.
On Instagram, if you look up Baby Cakes, trouble. You start getting, that'll get in your feed.
Well, that's the
that will
tricky-
get into your
Yeah,
feed.
the tricky thing is it's Baby Cakes Lady.
Yeah.
Or,
Make sure you look for the lady.
Yeah, oh, God. Now, that is even a little scary, too.
know.
So be at your own risk.
At your own risk, look up Love Baby Cakes. Okay. Carmela, it's just about time for us to go.
Okay.
But before we do, I just want to thank you again for listening to us. And this would be an awesome time, if you're up for it, to subscribe to our podcast so you never have to miss an episode, and a great time to leave us a nice rating and review. And, if you saw the socks in Instagram, you'll really appreciate it. We will take pictures of Hope Tarr's books so you can see the sexy novels that come. So you got to follow us on Instagram.
Order one or two.
Order a book. You can buy her on Amazon. Buy her books on Amazon. You can't buy people.
No,
as far as I know, you cannot buy people on Amazon.
And,
Not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Wow. Buy a bottle of cava and one of Hope Tarr's books.
And you're good. And subscribe. And rating and review.
Exactly.
And then you can also reach out to us at thewinepairpodcast.com, and we'll have our show notes, and we'll have some links to articles and all that kind of stuff if you look for this episode and look for our show notes. With that, we're going to sign off.
Sounds good.
In Vino Veritas, there you go. And we'll see you next time. And like we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much, always drink too much, always pray too much, always play too much, and when it would give too much.